Okay guys, happy holidays and welcome back to a new episode of Div by Div. In this one, that is gonna be the last of the 2018, we are gonna create a snow effect using JavaScript and CSS without any help for third-party plugins and starting from scratch. The final effect should be similar to this one, and let's get started. Okay, so let's start to create an index HTML, an app CSS, and app JavaScript. In the index HTML, we are gonna include the app CSS and the jQuery JS and the app JavaScript. Now we can start creating an element that is a div with a class Snowflake. Snowflake, boom. And in our app CSS, we're gonna define the background color of the page, so we're gonna see this snowflake. So let's say body is gonna have a background that is this blue. Let's refresh the page. Good. And we're gonna style the snowflake to be width 10 pixels, height 10 pixels too, and background color white. Okay, refresh. Good. Now we have our snowflake in top left of our page. It's a little square that is now white, but we want to make it as a circle. So let's say border radius is gonna be 50%, and now we have a circle. From this circle we want to position a bit more central for now. Let's say like left 50%, yeah, 50%. Okay, but we need to give it like for no position absolute. Okay, now we have it in almost at the center of the page, horizontally, and now we need to apply an animation. Before apply the animation, we need to create the animation, right? We want the animation of the snowflake to go from the position top 0 to top 100 VH of the page. That is going to be 100 viewport height. So we're going to create first our animation using keyframes. We are gonna call the animation snow effect, and we're gonna say I want that at 0%. We have the top of this element that is gonna be 0, and we want that at 100% instead. There is the top is gonna be 100 VH. Good. Now to apply the animation to the snowflake element, we need to just say animation, say which animation. I want the snow effect. So I'm applying the snow effect. I want that animation is the duration of it is gonna be 10 seconds for now. So let's say 10s. Let's say that we want to be linear. We want to make it loop in an infinite way, so we just say infinite. So we can refresh now the page, and we see that our snowflake is going to travel from the top 0 to the top 100 VH of our page. Good. So a second thing that we want to do is change the opacity of the snowflake when it's going down, but we won't want to change the opacity from the top 0. We want that at around 75 of the animation, the snowflake is gonna be losing its opacity bit by bit. So let's add another condition here in the animation keyframe. When we say 70%, I want opacity to be 1. But I want that at the end the opacity is gonna be 0. Let's make the duration 5 seconds to speed up a bit the animation, refresh the page, and we're seeing now it's opacity 1, 1, 1, 1, and now from 75% it start to fade out. From now we want to do some other little tweaks. So let's say that I want the animation to be more natural. So I want that the snowflake is going to be a bit on the left, a bit on the right, a bit on the left, a bit on the right. So I want to change the snowflake margin left and want to play with that. So let's add more rules inside the animation keyframe. Let's say 25, then we go to 50, 75, and 100. So I want that at 25, the margin left is going to be 25 pixels. For example, at 50 is gonna be minus 25 pixel, at 75 25 pixel again, and 100 minus 25 pixel again. Let's refresh the page, and now we are seeing that the snowflake now is gonna be going in sort of a zigzag movement. We are seeing that this movement is not really smooth, so what we can do to make it like a bit more smoother, rather than add the linear effect, we can say is in and out effect, and let's say if it's gonna be better. Yeah, so much better, so much natural. So now that we have the basic effect of one snowflake, we want to generate multiple snowflakes. To do this, we can like copy paste in the HTML a lot of snowflakes, but it's not the most efficient way to create them. So let's use a bit JavaScript for this. Let's go in our app.js file, and let's create a function using jQuery. So document .ready, let's create a function, and this function is gonna have the creation of multiple divs. So we need to create a for loop where the var I is gonna start from a value of 0, is gonna be increasing its value until it gets around 100 divs, and so it's gonna increase the value, so we need to add the plus plus. Good. Now we can create a div that is a div creating with jQuery in this case, that has CSS with different properties. These properties are gonna be the width and the height for now, and we want to also add a class snowflake, and we want this width and height to be random, and we want to be the same, so because it should be like a perfect circle. To do this, we can say like height width dimensions. Let's say it's gonna be a math.floor, it's gonna be math.random multiplied by 11, and this we need to add the value that is like pixels, and let's say okay, let's set it up as width and height snowflake, and now we just need to append this element to the body dot append div div. Okay, I think everything is good for now. Let's refresh the page, let's inspect the page, and we're gonna see inside the body that we have like 100 snowflakes. Okay, but from here you still see one snowflake. Why? Because the position is left 50%. We want to remove the position. Now it's gonna start from the top left. We don't want even this effect, so we need to define another property here that is gonna be the left, that it can be another random number that we want to cover all the space between the 0% and 100% of the width of the page. So we can say mathfloor mathrandom multiply by 100, and the random pixel we can say %. Okay, now you see that it's really ugly. We have all these elements of different size. The effect is not really smooth. We can make it like now 100 to see more of them. Boom. And now we have these 100 elements that are going down. What we can do to make it pretty, so we can add another property here that is gonna be animation duration. The animation duration can be only a random number, so we can like get more values, even decimal values. That is gonna be between 1 and 10 seconds, right? So let's add this parentheses. Okay, now you see that we have like tons of elements all together. They're really nice, different timing each, and everything is look pretty nice. Probably is a bit fast for now. So since it's fast, we can make rather than between 1 and 10, we can say like 1 and 20, but then we add 5 seconds. Let's refresh the page. Yes, now as you see it's like really smoother and nicer to see, less stressful to watch. The only thing we can make from the app CSS, the initial top to be -10, so we know that the snowflakes are not starting from the 0 position but -10, so it's like seems like they are coming from somewhere rather than see them to start from a 0 position. Refresh. Yeah, it's a bit better. Now the last thing, we can probably add an animation delay, right? Let's add it at the end. Animation delay that can be a random number plus this. Okay, there we go. And now we have the snow effect made from scratch using JavaScript and CSS and a little bit of jQuery. Since the elements are absolute, you can go back to the index page and create, for example, an H1, and we say like div by div. We can refresh the page and we have the div by div text in the page, and the snowflakes are not affecting the position of it, right? Because they are absolute. We can make it a bit more nicer, styling it a bit. I can say that font families is Arial, and can say that well, text align, say center, and well, you know, let's do like this. It's a bit nicer. We can say, yeah, just to add more padding, like 300 pixel here, very rough number, and let's say that the text of the and the color of the text in the page should be white too. So let's say that is FFF. Let's refresh the page, and we have like the div by div with all the snow that is going around. Okay. That's it for today. This was the last episode of the year. The new year is coming with a lot of new contents, a lot of new tutorials. I'm gonna start to do a series where I'm gonna teach step by step how to create a website from scratch, different kind of websites, and also I'm gonna teach you about animation, transition, all the cool stuff in web development. So stay tuned and subscribe if you want to see more contents like this one. Again, happy holidays, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.